Hey, church fam. For the last several chapters in Isaiah, we have seen that God is eventually going to judge the nations for their wickedness and their idolatry. And we now see in Isaiah chapter 22, where we are today, that that same punishment is coming for God's people. In fact, Isaiah in this prophecy is so grieved for God's people because he has seen what they have sown and he knows that they're going to reap what they have sown. What is coming for them, their captivity, has him so heartbroken. And this chapter, this time of Israel, is when King Hezekiah is ruling. And that's something that stood out to me in this chapter today. I want us to read verse 9, at least we're going to start there, and then we can unpack it a little bit together. So, verse 9, chapter 22. You saw that the walls of the city of David were broken through in many places. You stored up water in the lower pool. You counted the buildings in Jerusalem and tore down houses to strengthen the wall. You built a reservoir between the two walls for the water in the old pool, but you did not look to the one who made it, or have regard for the one who planned it long ago. So King Hezekiah knows that there is going to be an attack coming upon the city. So again, this is Jerusalem. He decides to look at the houses in the area and figure out the different places along the walls, kind of like a fortress, that needed to be strengthened and fortified. So he did that. And then this also mentions water. Why would he need to store up water? Well, when you're coming under attack, the biggest thing that the enemy could make you do is just cut off your sources of supplies. And King Hezekiah decided to dig tunnels underneath, starting in the old city, 1,750 feet out of the city to a reservoir where he could get water. And what's really cool is that I've actually been to Jerusalem, and when you're there, you can walk through Hezekiah's tunnels, and there's dry ones and there's wet ones where the water is still there. It's still connected, and it varies in depth from like your ankles up to your knees at some point. It's just amazing construction that they were doing back in the old times in the Old Testament. However, the biggest point I want you to take away from all of this, besides that you need to book a trip to Israel so you can go through the tunnels, is that they were making plans but neglected to look to the one who was in charge. That's what Isaiah is saying, is you built up all these things, you made all these plans and took precautions to try and avoid or protect against what was coming, but you neglected to look at the one who made it. Is that you, church? It's me most of the time. I am such a planner. I love planning. I could tell you what I'm doing tomorrow, 10 days from now, a month from now. I make plans, and there's nothing wrong with making plans or taking preemptive measures to keep you safe, your family safe, to stay healthy, to do things like that. However, Isaiah is saying, look, you're neglecting to look to God. And I think sometimes we spin our wheels and we make all these plans and preparations, and God's like, what are you doing? Why aren't you just coming to me with the issue? Also, God is saying, that's not the way to solve this. That's not the path to take. So I think today we need to remind ourselves, hey, God, here's the situation. This is what I think I'm going to do with the situation. However, if you have a better solution, if you have a better path for me to take, I hold these plans loosely, and I want you to instruct me and inform me in the ways that I should go. That is a much better use of our time, and that is how we exercise our faith muscle. When we stop saying, okay, here's the problem, this is how I can fix it, oh, I know this is coming, here's how we can proactively try and avoid drama, pressure, disaster, whatever. God is the one that we need to go to first, friends. So I love this reminder. Keep reading so that you see what happens in the rest of the chapter, but it has been so great to be with you. As always, see you next time.